There are people, certain types of people you should never trust. And the older you get, the more dangerous it becomes to ignore that truth. Because kindness, when misapplied, is not virtuous, it's deadly. It's like giving away your last glass of water in the desert. It might feel noble, but if you don't survive the journey, what good was the sacrifice? So let me tell you something you might not want to hear, especially if you're a senior citizen. Kindness isn't always moral. Not when it's handed to those who use it against you. Not when it's offered to those who've shown you repeatedly that they don't deserve it. You've lived long enough, you've sacrificed, you've raised children, buried friends, watched loved ones drift away. You've endured more than most people will ever understand. And now you've earned something sacred, peace. But the world doesn't just hand you peace. You have to defend it. And that means knowing who not to trust. I spoke to a man 81 years old, brilliant, gentle, worn. He told me about a so-called friend he let into his life after his wife passed, said she was there to help. Just someone to talk to, she said. But week by week, she began asking for favors. Small ones at first. Then money. Then a key to the house. He said, I wanted to believe she was good. I was lonely. And that's how it happens. Not because you're stupid, not because you're naive, but because you're good. Because you want to believe in people. And you should, but not in everyone. So let me walk you through 7 kinds of people you must never trust and certainly never be kind to. Number 1, those who exploit your guilt. This one's important because guilt is often the most powerful weapon against the elderly. You've lived a full life, yes, but along the way, you've made mistakes. Maybe you weren't the perfect parent. Maybe you have regrets. And manipulators especially, those closest to, how to twist that guilt into obedience. They say things like, you owe me, or you weren't there when I needed you, so now you need to help me. And suddenly, you're giving your pension to a child who only calls when he wants money. Or you're babysitting grandkids every day when your body is crying out for rest. That's not love. That's penance. And it will drain the last years of your life dry if you let it. You are not required to pay for the past with your present. Make amends where necessary. Yes, but do not become a slave to guilt. You don't owe anyone your joy. Second, beware the perpetual victim. These people are experts at emotional theft. Everything in their life is someone else's fault. They've always been wrong. They're always hurting. And they make you feel like you are the answer. That if you just did more, gave more, cared more, they'd finally be okay. But they never will be. Because they don't want healing. They want attention. They want control. They want you to orbit their misery like it's the sun. And you're just a moon, pulled into their chaos again and again. You might start thinking, well, what kind of person would I be if I turned away from someone who's suffering? And I'll tell you, a wise one. You're not abandoning them. You're just refusing to be devoured. Third, do not trust people who dismiss your boundaries. You've earned the right to peace. You've earned the right to space. To say, no, I don't want company this weekend. Or, no, I'm not lending any more money. But some people, especially manipulators, will mock that. You're being too sensitive, they'll say. Don't be selfish, or the most sinister of all. But I'm family. And what they really mean is, I don't care about your comfort. I care about my access to you. You have the right to draw lines, to protect your energy. And anyone who laughs at those lines, who guilt trips you for needing rest, or solitude, or security, cut them off. Because they don't want to be part of your life. They want to own it. Fourth, never trust those who come too close, too fast. This is how con artists work. And make no mistake, there are plenty of them. And they often target older adults specifically. They flatter you. They say all the right things. You're so sharp for your age. You're the kindest person I've ever met. I feel like I've known you forever. But real trust, real intimacy, it takes time. It grows in the soil of consistency, not charm. So when someone starts trying to insert themselves into your life quickly, when they want your time, your energy, your trust, your money without earning it, pull back. Kindness without caution is not kindness. It's exposure. Fifth, watch out for people who never apologize. A person who cannot admit fault is a person who cannot love you. It's that simple. If they hurt you, but then blame you for being hurt, if they lie and then say you misunderstood, if they yell and then say you're too emotional, that's not love, that's gaslighting. And it's especially dangerous in old age, because when someone starts undermining your sense of reality, when they tell you you're confused or exaggerating or making things up, you start to doubt your own memory, your own clarity. And once they have that, they have everything. They can manipulate you, take from you, control you. You must not allow that. You must believe in your own eyes, your own gut, your own wisdom. You've earned it. Sixth, beware the opportunist masked as a caregiver. This is a terrifying truth. Not everyone who helps you actually wants to help you. Some people hover near the vulnerable like vultures because it's easy access to control, power, and money. They offer to run your errands. They want to help with your finances. They're just trying to make things easier. And maybe they are, but maybe they aren't. And if they get angry when you ask questions, when you want to see receipts or understand where your money's going, then that's your answer. Real help is transparent. Real support is humble. If someone gets defensive the moment you question them, they're not helping, they're managing you. Don't let anyone disguise control as kindness, especially not when it concerns your health or your home. Finally, seventh, don't trust someone who only shows up when they need something. You know this person. They disappear for months, sometimes years. Then, out of nowhere, they need a loan, or a place to stay, or someone to talk to because nobody else will listen. And for a moment, it feels good. It feels like you're important again, needed. But you're not a service. You're not a retirement plan. You're not a therapist on demand. And you're not a doormat. Pay attention to the people who only call when they want something, who vanish the moment you say no. That's not family, that's not friendship, that's a transaction. And at this stage of life, you don't have time for empty relationships. You need real ones, honest ones, people who show up when you need something, people who care, even when you have nothing to offer. Let go of everyone who treats you like an opportunity instead of a person. Now, I know this isn't easy because most seniors are deeply decent people. You were raised to help, to forgive, to be the bigger person. And those are good things. But even virtues need boundaries. Even kindness must be balanced with discernment, or else it stops being virtuous at all. So, let me be clear. It's not unkind to protect yourself. It's not selfish to say no. It's not cruel to remove toxic people from your life. In fact, it's one of the wisest, most courageous things you can do. You have earned the right to peace. You have earned the right to say, I matter, my time matters, my heart matters, and I will not waste them on people who don't see that. So if you're watching this and you recognize one of those people in your life, take a deep breath and start letting go. You don't need to shout. You don't need to fight. You just need to stop giving them access to your energy, your kindness, your space. There is no shame in self-respect. There is only freedom. And if this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who's still being drained by guilt. Someone who still thinks they owe love to people who abuse it. Let this be the moment they take their life back. You survived everything life has thrown at you. You don't need to survive them too. You need to live right now and without apology.